Hello. In this quick little video, I will talk about the notes in music, how they work on the guitar fretboard, and the formation, that is the formula of the major scale. Simple stuff, but quite important. Let's get started. So these are the 12 notes in music. Now, if we start from note A, there will be total 7 natural notes, that is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and you can see this hashtag type symbol. It is called as a sharp in music. You can see that every note has its sharp note. C has a C sharp, D has a D sharp, F has an F sharp, G has a G sharp, except two notes for which there are no sharp notes. As you can see, the note E and B are the two notes for which there are no sharp notes. So the note that comes after E is F and the note that comes after B is a C note. So 7 natural notes A, B, C, D, E, F, G and 5 sharp notes C sharp, D sharp, F sharp, G sharp and E sharp. 7 plus 5, total 12 notes in music. Now sometimes these sharps are also called as flats. That means C sharp note is also called as a D flat. So we are just sharpening the previous note and flattening the next note. So similarly, D sharp is also called as an E flat. F sharp is also called as a G flat. G sharp is also called as an A flat. A sharp also called as a B flat. As of now, just remember that there are total 12 notes. Every note has a sharp note except E and B. Now there are two more concepts that we need to understand. One is a whole step and second is a half step. Half step is basically going from one note to the other without skipping any note. So if we start from C, the note from C to C sharp will be a half step as there is no note in between, and the note from C to D will be a whole step. If we start from D sharp to E, it will be a half step, and D sharp to F will be a whole step. Similarly, F sharp to G will be a half step, F sharp to G sharp will be a whole step, G sharp to A half step, G sharp to A sharp will be a whole step, A sharp to B a half step, A sharp to C will be a whole step, E to F will be a half step as there is no note in between E and F, and E to F sharp will be a whole step. Similarly, B to C will be a half step and B to C sharp will be a whole step. Basically, this half step and whole step are two types of intervals, and intervals mean distance between two notes, and we can further study about intervals in detail in that particular topic, but as of now just remember about the half step and a whole step. So let's quickly learn about the formation of the major scale. There is a specific formula as to how a major scale is formed, and here it is. Root note, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, and a half step. So R is the root note, W is a whole step, and H is a half step. So the formula is root note, which is the first note of the major scale, then whole step, again a whole step, a half step, then 3 whole steps, and a half step. So just by heart this formula, which is root whole half, whole half, root 2 whole steps, half steps, 3 whole steps, and a half step. So you just need to by heart this formula in order to understand how it can be played all over the fretboard. So as we have learned about the open 6 strings, let's quickly understand how the notes work on the rest of the fretboard. So if I place my finger on the first fret of the high E string, which is the first string, that note will be the note that comes after E, which is F. Second fret of the same string will be F sharp. Third fret of the same string will be G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, and back to E. So the note open string will get repeated on the 12th fret. So if I start from the first fret of the B string, that is a C note. That is because C note comes after B. C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, and so on. First fret of the G string will be G sharp. Second fret of the same string will be A. Third fret A sharp. So those are the notes on the fretboard coming from the same 12 notes that we have learned. Now if I take the first fret of the B string as my root note, then going up a half step will be going one fret forward like that. And going up a whole step will be going 2 frets forward like that. So this is the root note. This is a whole step, 2 frets forward. Again a whole step, 2 frets forward. If I have to go up a half step, that is 1 fret forward. So that was about some basic information on the notes that will help you to get started in learning music theory as well. And keep following, for in the next video I'm going to do an in-depth talk and a lesson about the major scales, how you can play them all over the fretboard, why they are important, and how you can practically use them to create music. So keep practicing and stay safe.